appreciate your time. And what the mayor said, and I want to kind of pick up on what the mayor said, look around. Nowhere else in the city would you see this. This is why Raleigh is so significant to the city. This is why it's my home. I love this community. I love the people in the community. Even as the mayor said, even when they don't always agree with me or have things to say, I love the people in the community. I have been given one request, so if you'll give me a personal privilege, if you would, to update on my daughter. A lot of the community council is familiar with my daughter and the struggles that she has. My daughter's diagnosed with MS. So she struggles through a lot of the things that we take for granted. She's doing very well. She's 15 now, starting when she was 12. We still have our episodes, but the prayers, the baskets, the stuffed animals, she gathers her strength knowing that everyone thinks about her. And if you meet her, you would think she's going to run for mayor someday, because she's all about that. But, you know, this is what I do this for. When we talk about passion, I don't want my daughter to leave Memphis. I want her future to be here. And I want our future to be here. I want your grandchildren and your children's future to be here. This is a great city. Raleigh is a great community. I'm going to be quiet now. We're going to look at this presentation. I want to first, though, thank Ms. Tisdale, Kevin, Raleigh Community Council. You've always been fantastic. You guys are going to see in this plan the results of LRK, the meetings that you all gave up your Thursdays for, the online surveys, all the work that you've done. We're going to show you what it looks like in the vision that we have created. Director Lipscomb, if you would, I'd like to introduce Robert Lipscomb, HCD. Give this man a round of applause. And if I talk to the mayor at 7:30 and 10 o'clock at night, I talk to him at 5 a.m. at midnight. So they're ready to get this project done. They're ready to get this project done. But again, Robert, the mayor, the administration, the council, everyone loves this city. We may not always agree on things, but you're going to see what I hope today is simply going to blow you away with what we have put together over literally a 3.5-year process to get where we're at. So, Director Lipscomb's all yours.
Thank you. See some friends out there. Good grief. Some old friends. Chopper. Good grief, man. Not you. It's good to be old. I just made 64 Friday, so I feel good.
All right.
Glad to be here. And contrary to what some people say, I'm not a czar. I am a public servant. And I just do the best I can. My problem is I can't say no. When somebody asks me to do something, I say, okay, I'll do it. Because I try to do the best I can with what I got. And I've been given a few talents, I think God given. And I can't say no because as a public servant, you shouldn't say what? No. You should stick in there and do the best you can, John. And not be a czar. And not worry about the power that you have, because the only power that you have is God-given, invested by the people in here to give it to you, okay? Yep. And that's what I rely on, is the power of the people to give me the strength to move on. So I'm not a czar, I'm just a good, hopefully good, humble public servant. And that's what I want to do. And that's what I hope we've done with Raleigh. We started talking about this, I guess, 3 years ago. And we said, what do you want Raleigh to be? Because we think that infield development is the way to go. We think we have to start building in the core city. We have to, because that's where the infrastructure has already been built. So let's keep people coming back to Memphis and keep our good neighborhoods solid. And if you look at the anchors we created, we can't keep going outside our limits. We got to do what? Build on our core, our urban core. And that's what we've tried to do, build on the urban core. Raleigh is a good community. So let's keep building on that. What we hope to do is create anchors. And if you look at everything we've done, we started with downtown because that was our core, and then we started to build out. The first project was Peabody Place. If we didn't have Peabody Place, we wouldn't have a lot of stuff going on downtown. That was our first anchor. Then we started moving outside that with the public housing, because if you notice where public housing was, it was all in our core city, and it dominated the core city. So there are a lot of reasons we had to do public housing, because it wasn't right. It was warehousing people, but more importantly, it stifled development. And so we had to start building that. Can you see it? You started with downtown, and then you started with these other core areas. Public housing. If you didn't have College Park, you wouldn't have Lemoyne College going from 500 students to 1,300 students. Having Soulsville redeveloped. If you didn't have Uptown, you wouldn't have St. Jude. If you didn't have Dixie Homes converted to Legends Park, you wouldn't have La Bonheur moving forward like it is. So you create anchors and hope that development starts to what? Connect, and you connect these dots. People are talking about Overton Square. Overton Square is critical because look, it's not even finished. Look what's happening out there. Has anybody been to Overton Square? Look what's happening out there. It's a renaissance, and you're attracting people, and it's going to build from that to create another urban core. Overton Square, Hattie Lou, all of those things are going to happen. Then the next phase is what? The fairgrounds, connecting these dots. Do you see can you see it now? Downtown, the next core, public housing, Lemoyne College, Soulsville. Now we're going to start building these what? These neighborhood dots and bringing it back in. Can people see that? It's clear the veil to me, because we got to invest in our core. Raleigh is a core. It has a lot going on for itself. Just by you being in here, it says what? This is important. We got to build on that. And so that's what's important. How do we build on the existing investment that then build on this, and then the rest will start what? Connecting. But you can see it, it starts downtown. The next link will be public housing pieces, the medical center, Overton Square, fairgrounds. Can y'all see it? It's clear as the bell, and these dots will start to connect. All right? It ain't that complicated. It's just what? You got to stick to the vision and create that vision, because dollars are not plentiful. They have to be leveraged. And what we're doing is leveraging those dollars on those big projects. Look at Sears Crosstown. We don't have the money for it, but we're looking at it. They've asked the city for $15 million to build on a $200 million project. If you get Sears done, then what? What's going to start to happen? You're going to connect it down by Kroger and Jefferson and connecting it back to the medical center. Do y'all see that? How it's clear as a bell to me. But it builds on the already existing infrastructure of the city. It's infield development. All right? I hope you see it. And Raleigh is a key part of that dot that's being connected. And we got to build on that, because you folks want shopping, you want a place to go. We're not going to attract people back from Wolf Chase, because that's what? That's already out there. But there are some demand generators that we can get right here. You see what I'm saying? We're not going to get a Macy's to come back to this area. It's just not going to happen, because they've already got a substantial infrastructure out there. We might get some good retailers to come back if we build the right kind of civic infrastructure and make it safe and attractive. And that's what we got to do with this. And I hope when I introduce Tom and Mari Alvarez and Joyce and their team, we ask them to say, here's what we heard from Raleigh. Put this together. Put this together. And see if it represents what is appropriate for Raleigh and what Raleigh said they wanted. So we are listening to you. I hope we heard you. But what you're going to hear tonight and what you're going to see tonight, hopefully, is the results of what we heard from you. I think it's a grand vision, but we add a little bit too now. We add just a little bit, because that's what people do. You tell us one thing, it's like an architect. If you're going to build a house, you say, I heard what they said, but I'm going to add my own little bit too. So we So I think our job is to hear what you say, but also stretch it a little bit. Does that make sense to everybody? Stretch it a little bit. And that's what we've done. We've heard you, but we stretched it just a bit, okay? And if we stretch too much, pull us back in, okay? But I want to introduce Tom Marshall. We've asked Tom, and Tom has put a lot of volunteer hours in this work, and he doesn't get nearly the credit. Tom is working with us on the fairgrounds and the bench, but he's put a lot of volunteer hours into this project and some other projects too. So I've asked Tom to kind of put together the vision, and it's a combination of vision for that LRK put together, and we'll hear from you guys. So I think you're going to like it, I hope. Tom Marshall.